Good evening, my friends. Today, today I'm going to continue to share about the fatal flaw. It's a system error, you know, with homosexuality. And it's not the only sin. There's many sins in the world, and it's one of the ones that we're having to deal with at this time openly, as that's being forced upon us um, in our generation, that we're supposed to, it's being normalized as if we're supposed to accept it and say that it's normal. So that's the only reason why I'm focusing on it. And really, I don't ever focus on things like this, but it's just been amplified to me over the last few days, and even today. Some experiences I had, I just strange experiences. And I won't go into that, but it just reminded me in the beginning, Genesis 1:26, starting 26. And God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, "Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth." So as I was thinking about this today, you know, God made them male and female. And it's important that we understand what's really happening in our society. This is an antichrist attack on this, the foundation that God has laid in creation, to change the course of truth. You know what I mean? To really create its own truth, and to say that the law and what God had set in place is not the standard. It's not really the way things are. You know, it wasn't, we weren't just made male and female, you know. And even to start to skew everything to think that two men could procreate or two women could procreate. But the bottom line is that man and women coming together, born of that gender on their birth certificate, is the only way for us to procreate. Two men cannot procreate. It'll never happen. That if there was only two men left on the earth, or if there was only men left on the earth, then humanity would go extinct. Or vice versa. If there was only women left on the earth, or two women were desperately trying to procreate, they would never be able to procreate. Never. Never. Not without a man. You know, and whatever people are doing, this in vitro and all that stuff, you know, that's just, it's still a man involved. You know what I mean? If there's no sperm from a man, there's no fertilizing of an egg. Okay? So it's important to know that the only way for men and women to be fruitful and multiply is for a man to be with a woman, or a woman to be with a man. It's the only way. And this is the order that God set. And he made us in his image. And if we try to change what God has done, it's an outward rejection of, it's an outward inward, it's just a flat out rejection of God's created order, and telling him that he doesn't rule over us. That what it really is a rebellion. This is a deep, deep, deep rebellion against God. telling him that he can't tell us how things are and how things work and who we are when we're born, and we decide who we are. You know, uh, God does not decide who we are. We decide. Even though he created us a certain way, we can change what he created us to be. Even though if we change what he created us to be, we will not be able to be what we want to be. You know what I mean? If I'm born a man, I will never be a woman, no matter how hard I try or how many surgeries I go through or whatever. It is impossible for a man to become a woman, and it is impossible for a woman to become a man, no matter how many surgeries, no matter how hard, because in the DNA, in the body, in the organs, it cannot change because God created us a certain way, and that is the only way we can function and fulfill what we are. So I just wanted to be clear about that, and to reestablish, hopefully, for us what the truth is. Amen.